Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you hear some snoring, it's my daughter in the back sleeping. I'm trying to talk as quiet as I can, but like enough so that you guys can hear me. As you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be giving a story time about my experience having the IUD. This is more of like a girl talk video, so if you're a guy and you're watching this, just a disclaimer, it's going to be a little TMI. The reason this topic is coming up is also because I'm actually getting a new one. So I'm gonna be doing my makeup today, and I'm gonna be also talking to you guys about my experience with my IUD. And I haven't had one in like 3 years since I had my son. Basically, when I first got my IUD, I was 14, 15. The reason I got it that young also is because my mom had found out that I was being sexually active, and she already knew like I was into boys obviously, and she kind of just didn't want me to get pregnant young. And she was very strict, and because she was very strict, I was very sneaky, and I didn't tell her a lot of things because I felt like I couldn't come to her like in certain situations, and just like hadn't really grown to be like very close at that age. We're actually a lot closer now that I'm older. So I kept a lot from her, and she knew that, but she also knew that I was being sexually active. But since she saw that, obviously she wanted me to be safe, right? So she got me on the IUD. She kind of just like forced me on the IUD because she knew that I wouldn't take my pill every day, which is the same now that I'm older. I'm very bad with remembering to take pills. That's also why I'm getting it again because I don't want to have another baby right now. I already have 2. So keep in mind, I have a virgin cervix. I've never had a baby. I just started to be sexually active, and so when I got this IUD, it was very painful. I remember when I went to go get it at the doctor's, at the OBG, my nana went with me, and she did not approve. She was always the only one that could like take me out of school early if I got sick, because she's like a stay-at-home mom, and so my mom would always call her if she needed like me to get picked up or if I needed to go to the doctor or something. She ended up taking me to my appointment. She started crying. I was kind of freaking out. I cried a lot, and it hurt so bad that I screamed and cried for my mom because it was that painful. I never thought that I would ever like scream for her. That pain was like, it like just came out of me like I was screaming for my mom. Fast track, like a couple years later, after high school, the one that I went with was the Skyla, and it was for a 3-year, like it lasts for 3 years. So the reason I got it removed and didn't get a new one was because it hurt so bad even after getting it inserted. I don't know if it's just like my pain tolerance was very bad or if it just really hurt. It feels like you're having really bad cramps, like period cramps. I don't know if you guys have like really bad periods. So because my cervix was so small, it was very painful. Getting it taken out was very painful. Getting it put in was very painful. And during sexual intercourse, it was very painful as well. If I was going a little too rough, it was very painful. There was a time and it got so bad that the cramps not only were in the vagina, but it was also going to the back. Like it was shooting to the back. And I remember I like couldn't move because any little movement would like make it tighten or something and like have an even worse cramp. So I then was rushed to the hospital because I was like, yeah, get this thing out of me. It's time to get out already. This was after high school, and I didn't have insurance or anything, but I went to the hospital to get checked. I remember going to the exam room, and the nurse was just saying like, the pain is probably getting caused from the IUD. And I was like, yeah, I figured. So can you like take it out? And she was like, I'm sorry, we can't take it out here. Like, you have to make an appointment to go to an OBGYN to have it removed. And I was just thinking, like, why can you not, like, remove it here? I'm so confused. Like, you're a hospital, you're supposed to be able to do all the things, you know? But me on top, right? I remember, like, sometimes when I would get in that position, I would get the worst cramps. I just felt like I was, like, on a really bad period. And I don't know if other girls have had this. I feel like I've talked to one other friend who has had like cramps that shoot up to the back. Literally, it's like the worst pain. You just have to like sit still and not move, because if you make any movement, it'll hurt so bad. If like you get like a cramp in your side and you like move a little bit and then it comes back even sharper, it's kind of like that. But like it's even worse because that's like a more sensitive area. And because it was going on for years and it was finally already time to get it taken out, I decided I need to go to the hospital. At the OBGYN, it was like $18 to get it removed. But after that, like, I never wanted to have it back in me. I was like, I'll get a pill or something, because the one that goes in the arm kind of freaks me out. And I remember my friend having it, and she would always tell me it moved around in her arm and she always like had bruises. I don't know if it was like because it was poking out. Like, I hate needles enough as it is, and to see like a little needle inside your skin, like in the surface of your skin, just messing with it and poking it, it would gross me out every day. I could not. The pill, however, would forget to take, so I did end up getting on the pill later after I had my daughter. So 3 years later, and I would take it for like a little while, and then there'd be like times where our lives get busy, so I just was like, hey, what the heck, like, I'm not gonna take it today. Also, because my pharmacy is still my same pharmacy from when I was living with my mom, it's like super far. So like when I was done with my month and they renewed it, I would have to drive all the way out there to go get it and then come all the way back home. So I would only do it on the days that I go to my mom's to do laundry. On the days that I wouldn't go and it would like renew, it would just be waiting there for me, and I wouldn't be taking my pills because obviously mine is gone. And when I would skip a day, I would take 2 the next day. So I would never have like none left over, if that makes sense. So like I would skip days, but I would still take it the next day with my other pill. I eventually was just like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna not take the pill anymore, because I really don't want to have any more pregnancy scares, and we already have 2 kids and we just don't want to have more right now. So this time it's gonna be a 5-year one. I think it's called the Mirena, but there's like different ones. So like my first one that I got was a 3-year and it was called the Skyla. This one that I'm gonna get now is the Mirena, and I think it's 5 years. But there's like a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 10-year. And the 10-year, I believe, is a copper one, and it doesn't have like any hormones in it. Because my experience with my first one has been so bad, I'm really nervous to have this one. It's coming up in a couple days. Today is Wednesday, and I'm having the procedure done on Friday. So I'm kind of nervous, but they also give you like a tiny little pill. It's like a tiny little pill, and you insert it in your vagina the day before your procedure to kind of open your cervix a little bit so that it's not as painful. But even though you do that, it's still painful, because I remember doing it the first time. So because I have a bad experience, I'm like dreading this appointment. But I just kind of wanted to like give you guys like a story time about my first time having the IUD. Maybe it'll be different this time after having kids. I don't know, maybe it'll be different. Hopefully it won't be as painful. You're also supposed to take like Tylenol if you believe that you're gonna have like more pain than usual. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat, get ready with me kind of girl talk and story time. I am gonna be updating you guys in the next clip. So today was a special day. I got my IUD inserted. I got the Mirena. I was like traumatized from my first time that I kind of just was so scared during the appointment to get it in. But when she was like talking me through it and telling me, okay, this is how it's gonna feel when it's going in, but I'm just measuring right now, and I did have cramps. And it literally just feels like if I'm starting my period and I'm getting like my regular cramping, it's not like super badly painful. Out of like a 1 through 10, I feel like it's like a 5 or a 6 with the cramping, because I'm
already cramping from almost gonna be that time of the month. It's like the end of the month and I usually start at the end of the month. So I was cramping all day yesterday. And then today I had like a little bit of cramping this morning. But when she checked me, she was like, oh, your cervix looks like it kind of opened up a little bit without the pill that they give. They sent it to me the first time, but then I didn't get my IUD the first time because they wanted to make sure all the tests came out clean, because she's supposed to like clean around the cervix, and she saw some discharge and she wanted to make sure like everything was clear. And I also had told her like I was being sexually active. She wanted to make sure like I wasn't pregnant or anything as well. So I had some cramping yesterday and then this morning, so I guess like that kind of opened up my cervix a little bit. I don't know, but she was like, oh yeah, your cervix looks like it's open a little bit, so I feel like it'll be easy to go through and put it in. And she like talked to me and like told me I'm putting in the speculum now, and that's like the thing that has like a duck mouth and it like opens up so that you can like open my vagina to see like what's in there. Other than that, it was good. I kind of was like heavily breathing at first because I was scared, and I was like, I think I'm getting lightheaded. And the lady was like, she was like, it's okay, just take deep breaths, like slow down your breathing so you're not like hyperventilating. And I was like, okay. And I tried to, but like I was still getting like super anxious because it wasn't done yet. Like I said, like I was traumatized from my first time getting it, to where I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the worst pain ever. I don't want to do this anymore. Like I want to go home type of feeling. Like I just want to get up and leave and go home. So I thought this one was gonna be a 5-year, but it's gonna be an 8-year. That's a long time to not have kids. If I'm not gonna have kids in 8 years, I'm not gonna have kids. I'm good to wait a couple years, like 1 or 2 years, but not 8 years. I'd rather just not have kids by then. But I guess they changed the Marina. It's now like 8 years instead of 5, because it used to be 5. I'm kind of sore right now. I'm laying down on the couch, but I'm probably gonna take a nap.